The hosts of bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
What is the most annoying work habit you find from other people? Because I've come to a point where when I'm at work, I go back to my desk after like going to the restroom and I complain. That's what I do, is I complain about something that I see at work. So talking about like HR and shit, you don't need to have a meeting in the middle of the fucking walkway. Mm-hmm. Take your meeting to your desk if you don't have a room. Go away from where everybody's fucking walking. I don't like, get out of the way.
People
that
are
really
just
bothers me.
Right in the middle.
To be fair, that bothers me outside of work too. In the grocery store, in fucking Costco.
Costco's the worst. People lose all self-awareness when they're in a Costco.
Well, and you have gigantic ass carts, so that's already taken up half the aisle. Yep. And so when you put two of them next to each other because you want to talk to your girlfriend that you haven't seen since 6th grade. Anyway, what bothers you all about work? Scott, what's the worst thing about your workplace?
Yeah,
that you encounter on a daily basis. Yeah.
There's I run into a lot of traffic. There's typically Hot Wheels all over the floor. Barbie doll pieces. It's treacherous commute for me to get to work every day. Sorry, not sorry.
All right, Dan, this is going to be a conversation between you and I.
There are two things that really bother me at work. One of them happened today, actually, so it's funny that you brought it up. But I'm sitting at my desk. I am clearly on a meeting. I've got my headset in, the camera's on, all the other pictures of all the other people are up on the screen. There is a presentation going on, and somebody walks right up to my desk and starts a conversation. And I'm clearly looking at my camera and looking at the screen and trying to indicate, because I'm not on mute, that I am in fact in a meeting, and they just breeze right through all of it and continue their conversation. You know what the conversation was about? Fucking pickles. My boss cans his own pickles and brought some in when he came in for work. And there were 2 jars of pickles on my desk, and that really intrigued this person who had
it wasn't even your boss talking to you about the pickles?
It was a fucking, one of the security ladies that was just walking around and really wanted to know about the fucking pickles that were on my desk while I was in a meeting. The other thing that bothers me is closely related to that is if you are sitting at your desk and you're on a meeting, again, all the evidence is right there. All the faces on the screen, the presentation, you've got your headset in, and a couple of people just decide to stand right beside your desk and have a very loud conversation.
So what you're saying is that you travel into the office to sit at a desk and take virtual meetings in an environment that's more distracting because of the other people that are in the office?
Look, we're not here to talk about your work at home situation, okay?
Return to work makes a lot of sense.
We're here to complain about shit that happens at work.
I'm complaining about the fact that return to work is stupid, and I'm glad I don't have to do it.
The loudest complainer is the person that doesn't have to go in.
Yeah, no shit. I need people around me. I cannot work from home constantly.
I'm happy to be your advocate. I do have one.
I don't want you to be.
I'm in virtual meetings all day, obviously. The one that gets me is when people make a PowerPoint and they're like, oh, here, let me share my screen so I can share the presentation. And then they don't fucking put it in presentation mode. I don't want to see the entire PowerPoint layout.
Wait, they don't even start the presentation?
No, they just leave the whole PowerPoint. You have all the slides going down the side. You have all the editing tools across the top. And why? Why would you do that? That's so infuriating.
Unless you
Have
are
you-
actively editing
There's
while
no
we're
re-
having this meeting,
yeah.
that's the only thing.
Have you ever seen somebody do that and they have like notes where somebody has reviewed it and like left this
Comments
is stupid?
like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen comments on one before, but I mean, doesn't surprise me. I don't get why it is presentation software with a presentation mode. Why would you not? Everyone's having to squint to read your extra small font because you still have it in fucking edit mode. Oh my god, that drives
the
me
most
insane.
interesting thing to me, because we've all been facilitators, we've all been trainers, we've all been professional talkers, right? I still am. It is not.
Excuse me, we all host a podcast together.
Yeah, but we don't get paid.
We don't get
so
paid. We're not professional.
I consider
This is
myself
amateur as
professional.
hell.
Yeah.
This is fucking amateur hour.
This
like,
is the definition of amateur.
When I see something like that, or people, oh my god, I saw a presentation today. She's never going to hear this. I don't even know her. She was sharing. I don't. You could clearly tell that she had a very large monitor that she was sharing from. I was sharing a website that was going through. It took 20 minutes for somebody to be like, can you zoom in on that? Because we can't see anything you're saying or talking about. Like she was so zoomed out that it was just like, this is presenting's useless at this point. Absolutely useless. The other thing that gets me, and I talked about this before we started recording, and I don't know, so far in my life, I have only experienced men's bathrooms in a corporate environment, right? The number of people that take their meetings on speakerphone while they're sitting on the toilet boggles my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was with a woman for 8 years. I never told her that I was going poop. Never once. No, she didn't. We didn't have a conversation in any way. The idea of having a phone call of any kind on the toilet, let alone on speakerphone in the bathroom, that's disgusting. Fucking do your shit elsewhere.
Your
I agree
reservation
with you that it is disgusting to take a phone call from the shitter, mainly because I've heard people do it and they will be like mid-sentence. Yeah, hold on, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And you can hear the push. And yeah, that's disgusting. But on the flip side, because I'm not going to let this go away,
We're not talking about this right now.
You find love and that you're comfortable enough in that love to share when you have a natural bowel movement.
I don't need to share having a bowel movement. No one needs to know about that. Unless you're my doctor and you're evaluating that bowel movement, no one needs to know about that. I don't want to know about that. Like if I was in severance, you know what my severance would be? It would be going into the bathroom. I would never know about it.
Your aversion to the conversation of scat is unique, I would say. Not unique. Yeah. I'm sure others that have it, but it's I think in the minority.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Man.
To the degree just throwing that, because I'm just saying you threw that out there as like a point in the conversation, and then just letting you know, like, it's not as strong of a point as you think it is, because
it is to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it.
Do you want to start this argument again? Are my opinions completely invalid again?
No.
Do you want to go an entire episode without me talking to you?
I do agree that poop is gross.
I will
I'm not scared of talking about it.
I'm not scared of it. It's just gross, so I find no need in it.
You never like ate a big meal and then let one go and be like, guys, I feel so much better.
I haven't sent poop selfies like you two.
Let me show you what I made.
Absolutely not. That's fucking gross. That is disgusting.
Have you never like had a upset stomach and then you go and you just drop the monstrous log and you feel so much better after that? You want to tell people that you feel better because of the ginormous shit you just took.
No.
That's never happened to you.
No, I don't tell people about my BMs, Dan. Sorry, I'm not a fucking Commanders fan.
You know, when you think about it, every
Sorry, I'm
day,
not from Virginia. I should have made it for both of you.
every day in the world, there's someone who put their shoes on the fastest for that day, the whole world.
Don't you stop it. I
Have
know
you-
where you're
do
going.
you
Shut the
th-
fuck up. Shut up.
Do you-
Do not say it out loud. Don't.
I don't know
Don't.
where you're going. I want to know.
I do. Yes, you do. You know exactly where he's going. Yes, you do. Scott, you do not have to say this. I will quit.
Do you think there's ever been a day
I
where
will
you
fucking quit.
have had the biggest
No,
bowel movement of
no.
the day? Like in the whole world, out of the whole world, you had the biggest one of the day, or at least like top 10, you know?
You remember when we were talking about video game, like end of game statistics?
Yeah.
End of life statistics. I would like to know how many times I've cracked the top 10.
You think you've cracked the top 10 multiple times?
No,
Oh.
without a doubt. But if it happened once, I'd be proud of it.
I'll be
Out
back
of
when you're done.
how many billions of people on Earth?
I mean,
8, right?
6.
I think it's 8. Earth population 8.142 billion. I mean, yeah, if you crack the top 10, that'd be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Again, one of the end of life statistics I would love to know.
I'll leave again if it's not done.
I mean, if
I
you're
also
gonna
got
crack top
pictures.
10, it's gonna take a few minutes to get it done.
No, Matt, we flushed. It's over.
It took 3 tries. Hello, and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively decides all things tournament bracket style. The difference between you and me, I make this look good. I'm Scott Grubb.
I don't like it. I'm Matt. I had it and I lost it. I'm Matt Robinson. I legitimately had an intro and it just went. Continue.
Holy fucking shit. It's a dinosaur. I'm Dan.
You had to get a pun in at some point.
Yep.
Does Dan have a last name?
Oh, default.
This week, we conclude Spiciest HR Tea, TEA. We are down to our 3 matchups. We got our was it semifinals and finals. Did we come up with a name for the 4?
I don't think we did.
Yeah. Didn't we?
I don't remember.
The Furlong 4.
Furlong? Is that a T type as well?
Probably.
Okay. All right. Sure.
How about the floral 4?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. That
Yeah.
makes a little bit more sense.
All right. Fair enough. Gentlemen, where should we begin? We got 2 very interesting matchups.
Yeah, it's tough to decide.
We've stayed on pattern so far, so let's just do the agency or ISIS versus VOT International from the
All
books.
right. The agency / ISIS versus Bond International. What are we thinking? First initial thoughts.
First initial thoughts, I wouldn't want to work at either of these corporations.
I mean, why not?
Well, one, there's a good chance that if I worked at the agency, I would be shot or left out to dry when I'm on some sort of espionage mission, or at the very least, develop some crippling addiction to all the many substances that they do.
Why would they leave you out to dry? Like, would they just dislike you that much?
I mean, maybe. I'm not cartoon, so I figure I probably have a difficult time fitting
This
in.
fucker's not one of us. He's a different style. He's a different art style than us.
No, they did that. There was I think maybe I'm thinking of something else. I thought there was a character that they drew in a different style. And maybe moving on.
And then Vault International, because that just seems awful.
They might make you a superhero.
I don't want to be a superhero. I don't want the powers and responsibilities, especially in that world.
Do they have control of what superpower that the person ends up with, or do they just
No.
like feed them a chemical and there's a reaction and then they end up with? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's basically like a roulette wheel of you're gonna get something. You could just explode. Like that's literally,
Yeah,
what a superpower is, just exploding guy. But
A
it
lot
only
of
works
people-
once.
and a lot of people died making that drug and then died by not surviving the process.
I can see where working there would come with a certain level of insecurity, job insecurity, life insecurity.
I've heard it both ways. I mean, I think that look, we're talking about tea, right? Who's going to have the better tea? I do think VOT International, to give it some credit here, outside of the murder and human trafficking and human testing and all of the super, super negative stuff, look, bet they got a bunch of tea about fucking. You know what I mean? Like, I bet you anything. Bet
One
you
of the
anything.
superheroes has like an extended penis.
That's true. That's his whole power.
Yeah,
Wait, what? That's his whole power?
yeah. He just like in the show he like chokes people with his peen.
To be fair, there's also a guy who just gets really small, but all he uses his power for is to go inside vaginas.
This is a weird fucking show.
It's
You
one
need to
episode,
watch it.
honestly.
Yeah, you need to watch it. It's so crazy.
I don't think you like. Do you think the things you're telling me right now are compelling me?
You're the one who said that John Hammond wants to fuck dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I
because
think
that's
this
obvious in the movie.
That
Yeah,
is
it's pretty
not
obvious in the show how
movie.
much people fuck. I think there's a lot to be said about like the potential tea that's not life threatening in The Boys. Like just the outside of the buying senators and murdering politicians and again, human trafficking. Like there's got to be some goofy stuff. Like what's his face, the guy with the full black mask, who just sees cartoon
Noir.
characters. Yeah,
Yeah.
He sees cartoon characters?
so you don't figure out spoilers. You don't figure out what his superpower is until season 3, season 2, season 3. I think it was season 3. And he's just crazy. He has like part of his brain missing, and he literally sees cartoons that tell him about the world and shit. It's wild. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and Homelander was breastfed by the CEO and has a weird obsession with milk up
He
until
does
the
like breast milk.
point. Yeah, up until the point where he, laser beams her brains out.
Yeah, well, it was the milk or the brains. He chose brains.
Yeah, I feel like kind of flip that point. The tea from the agency is going to be watered down, so to speak, because there's not a lot of secrecy within that place. Everyone knows about Archer and Lana hooking up. Everyone knows about like Cyril, and everyone like they very openly mock each other for their previous decisions and talk about it. So there's not a lot of tea, honestly, in those. Like they do a lot of dumb stuff though, but and again, it's that it balance it out from within their universe do the things that happen in The Boys seem outlandish because superpowers aren't a thing in our real world. But like, would less weird if we lived in that universe, that there was a superhero that flew around and choked people with his penis?
I do think it's important to like just take the superpowers out of it. If there is a company where the poster child for that company is a literal murderer, but gets away with it because it's for the people, or has a weird breast milk obsession, like that's tea you would enjoy.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
So here's my thought. Like if we were at a bar and we had the opportunity to listen to either one of these, I feel like the agency's tea is going to be a lot funnier, right? I would legitimately laugh listening to that tea being spilled.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if we were listening to the vault tea, I would be mortified.
Pretty terrifying, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But which makes thine spicier then? Do you want the humorous tea, or do you want the terrifying tea? Like it
But want is different than just spiciest.
Yeah.
Like spiciest, I think of like mind blowing, like like I can't believe that happened. Oh my god, really? Him? Like that kind of stuff. Not necessarily what I want, because what I want is to laugh. But realistically,
but if I'm thinking spicy, like I'm thinking exciting. Like it's exciting to hear. I want to hear more.
I guess.
Because like that's the connotation when you're talking about spicy tea, right? Is that it's exciting and you want to hear more, not necessarily how spicy can it get, right? Like as in how terrible is it?
When I think of spicy tea, I think of shock value. Like how shocked is the listener going to be when they hear what is coming out?
It's a good thing we're figuring out these levels in the finale.
Yeah. Scientific, baby. I think I'm ready for a vote. I don't know about you all.
I mean, go for it, Dan.
Yeah, thinking about spicy tea to me is just pure shock and awe. And out of these two, Vault International is going to have the shockiness and awness that I'm looking for in my spicy tea.
The awiest?
Awness.
It's going to have some awe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Great amounts of it, I would say.
Matt, are you vote ready? You feel like?
I mean, I think that part of this comes down to familiarity. While I've watched some of Archer, I haven't watched that much, and I've watched enough VOT that it's like, holy shit, like there's so much going on in here. There's got to be way more. And I do think that, again, if you don't talk about all of the like level 10 extreme shit, there's a lot of level 6 extreme, like, you know what I mean? Like there's some good, there's fucking affairs happening in that office. Somebody's having like joining the Mile High Club without a plane, like all kinds of stuff. So okay. I think I would go VOT International as well.
I think I'm with you. Like if I'm hearing the level 5 and 6 stories, then I'm grabbing my popcorn and I'm having a little snack and enjoying the stories. The level 10 stuff, I feel like would turn me away from it. I'd be more inclined to just want to hear the agency's level of things. But if the intention is that there's an ample amount of the level 5, 6 fun tea, then sure, I'm with you.
All right,
I just thought of I thought of a reason that you should watch The Boys, Scott.
Okay.
There are a lot of allegories between Vought International and Fox News that make that show definitely worth watching.
I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
VOT International moves on. That takes us to our other semifinal. Jurassic. Oh, why am I saying it? Dan, you say it.
Jurassic Park versus Men in Black.
Now, I have an issue with this one.
Okay.
Because I love dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs are great. I think they're cool. I'd love to hear an entire like workplace story about dinosaurs. I would. But like the amount the possibilities in the Men in Black's T level are just so vast. You know what I mean? Like there's a finite number of dinosaurs that I can bring back to life. There is an infinite number of possibilities of aliens that could be coming to Earth, that already are on Earth, that are people, that, you know what I mean? Like I feel like just the sheer amount of tea in the Men in Black sincerely outweighs Jurassic Park.
Can I ask you a question?
You can try.
Okay. Let's just say
That one was successful.
You're working in the Men in Black. You have seen all the aliens. You have seen all the crazy shit.
All
and
the
you
weird
go into the
configurations.
coffee, huh?
All the weird configurations. Boobies on the front, boobies on the back, boobies on the top, boobies underneath.
Boobies on the bottom.
You've seen them all.
Yeah. All
one,
the configuration.
One big boob.
All, yeah, exactly. One,
and
yes.
100 very small boobs. You've seen it all. But you walk in to the coffee room, and you know those like long squiggly aliens that are pouring the coffee?
Yeah, the cockroachy ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if you walked in and they were just full on having an orgy? Like
hell yeah,
spraying God knows what into the coffee.
We don't discriminate here.
Yeah. What about
at work?
Look, it's a weird fucking workplace. I think that's well established in the source material.
I mean, okay. I said we don't discriminate here. I guess I did kind of leave out the context of that it's at work, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes a valid point there.
At work in the shared coffee. Now,
am I their manager?
No, but you're wanting a cup.
I'm going to report it and I'm going to walk away.
Before anything splashes.
I'm going to let them finish. I'm going to leave.
Oh, you're going to let them finish. That's very nice of you.
I'm going to let them finish. Then I'll report it to HR because then their manager has to have a conversation with them. You know what I mean?
But who's going to clean up that room? This is the break room. This is where your lunch is in the fridge, potentially has been used.
I don't bring lunch to that workplace. I barely bring lunch to my current workplace.
That's true.
All of that to be said, like legitimately, could you imagine going home? Let's say that your partner has clearance and they're allowed to know about what you do somehow. And you go home and you saw that day, you're going to be like, honey, I have got to tell you about those fuckers because they were going hard. That coffee did something to them.
Yeah.
Had them amped. But think about this, though. Like, if we were at a bar and we could listen to somebody from Men in Black, the HR department, sharing all of this tea, what do you think the likelihood of us retaining those memories is?
It's irrelevant.
Just saying. Tea's not spicy if you don't remember drinking it.
I mean, you still have the enjoyment of that moment, though. It's not about your retention. It's about the excitement of the tea quality as it is. The tea is still good whether or not you drink it.
Yeah, realistically, Jurassic Park could send people at you to kill you after you hear things. Also, you know, like all of those could. All of our final four, realistically.
A well-trained velociraptor.
You're not going to have a velociraptor. Or are you saying that's who's coming to kill you?
Yeah, that's who's coming to kill me. A sassaraptor.
And then when it goes back home, Chris Pratt will have it.
And then he's like, honey, let me tell you about this guy I killed.
And what he was doing to the coffee.
I'm just saying, imagine the amount of tea just far outweighs what Jurassic Park can bring to the table. It just, look, Jurassic Park has a box of Twinings, you know, morning breakfast tea. That's all they bring. You know what I mean? Men in Black, they're bringing crates. They're bringing fucking cargo ships of tea. They're going to throw some of it in the ocean just to honor what we had. You know what I mean? And then they're going
I
to take it
just
to
hired her.
space.
What, in Jurassic Park?
What? No, I'm talking about Men in Black. They've got crates
so-
of tea.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
They just have too much. I think that's really what it comes down to.
I think ultimately, like, Jurassic Park is gonna have a few stories here and there that are outlandish, but your typical high school employee at a theme park, the tea that's gonna come from them is gonna be, it's gonna be, they'll do stupid shit, and they're not gonna be, clear of everything, but like, we busted some of them leaving Slurpee mix in a machine so that it fermented, and then they were getting drunk off of it. Like, that's going to be, that you can do that, by the way.
It sounds like you have firsthand experience in the Slurpee machines.
And then like, they'll have an exciting story here and there, but most of their stuff's going to be that. The Men in Black stuff's going to be off the wall.
And it's not all going to be like terrifying, right? Not to get to the next matchup. Some of it's going to be world-ending shit,
right?
But then every now and then,
I was about to say, there's probably a fair amount of.
But every now and then, you're going to get someone that's like, I met this guy at work today, right? And first, really nice guy, 6 eyes, 15 hands, 2 boobs. But man, he stopped at this planet. And the planet that he stopped at had the strangest flea market. And he was just telling me all about it. Like, there's going to be weird shit that just happens. You know what I mean? Again, talk about like level 5 and 6 type of tea. There's going to be level 10 world ending shit or level 11. But there's going to be a ton of like 3, 4, 5 in the Men in Black.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, the tea you're going to hear about is 1 or 10.
I mean, it's a big enough corporation to where you probably have some 5s and 6s in there.
I mean, every now and then, but it's sprinkled. You know what I mean?
Do you think any employees at Jurassic Park ever tried to get like one of the dinosaurs high?
Oh,
like
100%.
Like, you're just sitting there. Yeah.
They did the what's that called? The tornado bong. What is that called? Where
you take gravity
like
bong?
Gravity. And they tried to do that for the like fish dinosaurs.
Or, you're sitting there with a Triceratops or a Bronchiosaurus.
Is this just like, see how many dinosaurs Dan can make? Passive way up.
Yeah, puff pass.
Puff pass.
Its neck comes down and just grabs the joint.
It just very gingerly, gingerly grabs it.
Eats the whole thing. Just
I mean, as much as I would love to see it, the Men in Black gets the vote.
Scoop.
All right, straight to the vote. I think Dr. Hammond's a nasty freak and should be ashamed of himself. But yeah, I think the Men in Black, their stories would be, their stories would be just crazy.
But he spared no expense.
And still
couldn't buy the win.
Yep. My vote's also Men in Black. Not like it matters, but it is.
I mean, I do think just, again, the sheer amount of tea is just too high on Men in Black's side, which takes us into the finale, Scott, the final.
Vought International from the boys versus Men in Black from Men in Black.
I do think there is a closer level of the amount of tea that you have at Vought International versus Men in Black. I still don't think it's close, but I think it's closer than Jurassic Park.
I think we have a very interesting matchup here.
Oh, it's definitely an interesting matchup. What I was getting at was that there's still a lot more possibility in the Men in Black, but again, the extremes that you're going to see on Vought is that's gonna be pretty heavy.
You don't think the superhero capabilities open up nearly the same amount of possibilities?
I don't think so, because again, you're not getting the infinite number of like superpower possibilities that exist doesn't increase the number of cultures that exist. And I think that's where you start seeing some of the interesting tea is from a lot of the different cultures across the universe that Men in Black get a chance to interact with.
That's fair.
But if you're immersed in that world,
Uh,
it's not like
immersed. Immersed.
yeah,
Okay. I didn't know if you were saying like a mercenary and just said
no.
immersed. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
But if you are in that world and you are aware of aliens, then at a certain point, it's just going to be like, oh, there's another new alien type. You know, there will be intrigue, but there won't be interest.
But to his point though, it's not necessarily just about the visual aspect of seeing something like that. It's also like he's saying the cultural aspects of it. There's going to be various cultures that look and treat things differently. I mean, just look at the way that operates as it is today here on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see, what kind of example can I give that's not going to sound? The first
Well-
one I thought of sounds. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. You see all the time where tourists from Western nations go to like South Asian countries and they go to a beach or something, and then men just come and gravitate and gawk at them like they're a tourist attraction or a sideshow. Yeah, that's two different culture. Like we look at that as an incredibly strange thing, but those are cultural differences. Now put that on the scale of the universe. That, I mean, the things that people are going to look at and do differently, and the way that we're going to perceive them is going to be crazy.
Because that's the thing, right? And I think that it's important for us to recognize that discrimination of any kind, terrible. Even in Men in Black, aliens, etc. Just because somebody looks different doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Fuck you if you think otherwise. But our interpretation of what we see in interactions and different cultures and things like that in the world of Men in Black, in the universe, I think that just begs to be talked about at dinner, you know what I mean? Or at the bar, or when you go home with your partner, or even just with your work people, you know what I mean? Like in the first movie itself, the number of times that Will Smith's character just looks at Kay, like, just like, the fuck was this? Did you see this? What is going on? Like, you know what I mean? And that's somebody that's in it doing the job. Like, they're going to talk.
Yeah, but also on the same point, in those movies, Will Smith's looking at Kay because he just joined that organization. Kay is not looking in disbelief at anything he's seen.
I think, though, that argument could be made towards anything if you're in it long enough, right? Like if you're in VOT International long enough, the murders and the everything terrible that happens, just it doesn't get less traumatic. You just get numb to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like with the VOD International, though, I mean, I'm seeing your point about all the capabilities with Men in Black and the cultural aspects of it, but I don't want to discount the impact that the superhero abilities give, right? There's that kind of concern, societal concern about if I were to suddenly have powers, how good could I stay, right? If you have people being granted these capabilities, all of a sudden you have somebody who gets the ability to teleport. Well, how do you know they're going to use that for the right reasons? How do you know they're not going to show up in the bedroom of someone that they were obsessed with since,
Look, he tried to stay out of that bedroom. Okay.
Right. Sure. So, I mean, and that's just one example. I mean, the way that show is formed and crafted, it insinuates that you don't know what power you're going to get. And it could be fucking anything. Clearly, like the creative spectrum on that seems ridiculous. So there can be aspects of that the three of us aren't creative enough to even think about how terrible it could get.
And I think the other thing is one of the key differences, I think, is that if you're in the Men in Black universe, they are doing everything they can to make the existence of aliens hidden, right? They are doing everything to hide that from the rest of society. Kind of like the Ministry of Magic and wizards versus non-wizards. It's just a hidden world that you know nothing about. And at Vault International, in that world, all of these heroes are idolized. Like there are comic books and TV shows and movies that idolize these people and make them seem larger than life. So if we were in that universe, yes, we would be very aware of Homelander, and we would know all these stories about how he saved the world and how selfless he is. So you go in with that level of understanding, and then you find out that he's a homicidal, breast milk addicted lunatic, and your mind is blown. You know what
I
I
mean, I
mean?
think to be fair though, that exact argument, except flip it. You know nothing about it, and then you find out about all of these aliens and what they, what they do and how they interact with each other. Like you're going from mind blown in like, hey, my picture of Homelander has been turned on its head to mind blown of, hey, my picture of the universe is now flipped on its head. You know what I mean?
But I have to imagine, like right now, if I were to ask you in this world, in this conversation, do you think aliens exist? There's a good chance that you're going to be like, no. Or there's a good chance that you're going to be like, yes. Like, I think that there's aliens that exist. I don't think they've traveled to our solar system, but it would be incredibly naive to think in the infinite space with infinite numbers of stars and an infinite number of planets that there is not an intelligent life out there other than us. I think that that's egotistical. So if a Men in Black person showed up and, was saying, yes, there are aliens and they are here, I'm like, fucking ha, I knew it. But if I had this thought that the Seven were this incredible superhero team, and that is all I ever knew, that they were this incredible superhero team, and then I find out how devastatingly wrong that opinion is.
I have arguments, but I'll let Scott talk
No,
because
no, no,
we've been
no.
talking for a
I'm
while.
good. I want to hear the arguments.
So two arguments. One is that if the Men in Black, if someone from the Men in Black came to you and was like, "Hey, aliens exist, they're here," you would say, "Ha, I knew it," and then you would follow that up with, "Tell me everything you can." You want that tea. You want that information, right? Whereas my second argument in Vought International with the boys, yes, maybe you are naive to think that these god tier people on this earth are completely infallible, but a lot of people don't think that, right? There are rumors even before anything comes out about Homelander being a psychopath, that people don't like him. They don't like the way that he handles things or something else. The majority may think, oh my God, they're perfect and they could never do wrong. But I think that there would be a large contingent of people that would say, "Ha, I knew it," when they find out
Either
something.
way, I'm going to be like, tell me more. I need to know more. Whether I'm one of the people that thought that they were benevolent, or if I'm one of the people that thought it's too good to be true, I want to hear more.
I think we have, before you continue or start, Scott, can we just say that you and I both have already voted? Because at this point, it feels like we are on either side of this conversation. And I want it to just come down to Scott figuring this out and finding his vote.
Dan, what's your vote?
No, I haven't voted yet. I think that there's interesting
So no.
possibilities on both sides. I'm just trying to make an argument for Vault International because, Matt, it does sound like you are a Man in Black.
Look, if I could be a fucking Man in Black, I would. You know what I mean? For so many reasons.
It's very slimming.
Anyway,
Oh my
Scott,
gosh,
sorry,
you
I've
just
interrupted
unlocked a
you.
core memory there. We had like what was that? Was that gym class? We did like a block about dance on gym class, and we had to like break off in groups and come up with a dance thing, and we did one to Men in Black. Anyway, I think that's right. Anyway, I think that the superhero capabilities, I think Matt, you're right. I'm trying to decide what side of the coin I would fall on. If I personally would be naive enough that when somebody told me the terrible things that the Vought International people were guilty of, I would be surprised. Like I would lean into it a lot. But I don't think I would be. I'm trying to give myself enough credit to be smart enough that if I heard the stories of Vought International, I'd be like, I knew it was too good to be true. Like,
A
I see,
multi-billion-dollar international corporation.
I see John Cena out there, right? And he's making a wish, and he's every little kid's hero and all that. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I bet he's insufferable to live with, you know? Like he's so routine and regimen and everything, and like what we saw of him on reality show, I bet he's just a nightmare to live with. But then that's amplified by superpowers, you know? And clearly, for some of them, a severe lack of morality. Um, but the Men in Black, I think you make a very interesting point with the cultural aspect of it. I think having not just the crazy physical attributes that you would see in configurations we can't even probably comprehend, but then compound that with what is it that we could do or would do or might do or that they do that's going to be so unusual to the other side, and like, oh man, you the I feel like the amount of weirdness that can come along with Men in Black is pretty strangely significant. But I do worry though that having my eyes opened to the reality of not just that there's other life, because I'm with Dan, it would be naive of us to believe, excuse me, that there isn't, but that it's so close. That's the part that I feel like would take it from spicy, enjoyable tea to terrifying tea. Um, hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Does it? Are we factoring in the fact that Michael Jackson was an agent in Men in Black?
Matt is
You're
muted
muted.
and trying to talk to us.
He was never an agent. He was trying to become an agent.
Oh, okay. But he
Dennis
didn't
Rodman
do
was an
any.
alien.
That's correct.
But
So
that,
was
but I mean, again, would that surprise anybody?
look, I just think what it really comes down to is what is the level of tea? Is it amount of tea? Because in terms of amount of tea, I think Men in Black just have it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that anybody can really come close to just like how much possibility there is in the Men in Black.
Mm.
If you're talking about like spiciest in terms of, mind-blowing, terrifying aspect, Vought International may take that one. While there are world-ending potential events that happen in the Men in Black, so far they've all been successfully averted, right? Whereas in Vought International, there have been many murders by superheroes. So I think that there's a what is more important? What is the weighting in this?
Well, I think it's almost like a game of hot ones, right? If when you see people eating those wings, there's points where they enjoy them, and then there's a point where it becomes too spicy and it's not enjoyable anymore. And I think that's what you're dealing with in this kind of scenario. The question is, as we're on the final vote, are we are we going with purely what gets to that 10, like what has the true spiciest, or what is more enjoyable? And I know we
Yeah,
didn't define that before, but feels like it's
it.
these ending matchups feel like where that becomes relevant.
I don't think we've needed to define it up to this point because all
Yeah.
the other matchups have been fairly one-sided for the most part. But I think if I were in the world of Vault International, regardless of whether or not I was naive and thought that Homelander was, altruistic, or I had an inkling of an idea that he is not that perfect, it would terrify the ever living shit out of me to know that at any moment he could turn the world to heel with little to no difficulty. Like, there's no weapon on earth that can stop him. There's no person on earth that can stop him. And it kind of reminds me of that DC story where Superman turns completely fascist. Um, and how terrifying of a world that would be.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's based on, right? Like
Yeah.
realistically. So I mean that's also just one guy. And then to think that anybody with superpowers could have that capability, and me being a non-superpowered entity, I
Yeah.
think the fear of going outside would become real.
Yeah, but you also have with Men in Black, you are again brought into the idea that not only is there their extraterrestrial life, but it's here, it's with us, it's among us. There's also comes the realization with that there are forms out there, and there's, I mean, that's what the movie's based on. There are forms out there that could take us out like that. I mean, blink of an
What
eye, we're gone.
isn't there at the end of 1 or 2? It zooms out
Uh huh.
of our planet and then
Yep.
out of our solar system and on and on until we are just a marble.
In a
Our
game.
entire galaxy is just a marble being played with by aliens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, that there's a certain level of existential dread on both sides of this, you know.
Yeah.
For sure. So
All
where are you
right.
going to land?
Okay. So Matt, your vote's still solid though.
My
I
vote's Men
suppose.
in Black. I just can't. Again, I think it's the amount of tea. Like I think I'm imagining. I'm imagining going into a bar, right, at for happy hour or whatever, and both of these people are here. They both, like, in my mind, if I know about these universes, I know at the end of the night the Men in Black's going to wipe my memory. I also know whoever's at VOD International is probably going to kill me at the end of the night, right? If they, depending on how much tea they drop, um, I'm going to want to talk with the Men in Black longer to get as much information to have as good of a time as I can. So those things kind of cancel themselves out, and then it's just who do I want to talk to, and I want to talk to the people about aliens.
Dan, you have had a lot to say about Vaught International. Is that the way you're leaning, or were you just playing devil's advocate?
I mean, so again, the title of this is Spiciest HR Tea. And if we go purely off that title, I think Vault International has the spiciest tea. Does that mean it's the tea that I would want to hear most? No. Because if we were going on the tea that I am enthralled with and I want to hear everything I can hear, it's going to be Men in Black. But the spiciest tea is Vault International.
Hmm. Stuck in the middle with you. Okay. Um.
Eyebreaker.
Don't blue ball me. Um. I think that what makes Vought International's tea extra spicy is that it would defy your expectations, right? I think, again, altruistic or not, even if you are the person who thinks that Homelander and the rest of them are up to no good, or that there's no way they're constantly always as good as they seem to be, or you question motives or whatever, even if you're that person and you have those feelings validated and confirmed, you're still going to be surprised. Like there's still going to be a level of surprise that you were right all along.
Especially the sheer amount.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that does make it spicier in that regard. Um, I think with the Men in Black aspect of it, I mean, there is still a level of surprise there. Like either way, they're both earth shattering views, or pieces of information to learn. Um, but I think to Matt's point, the Men in Black is definitely going to bring it in a quantity level. I feel like, um, because I mean, not only are they're not just a police force and a defense force, they're also doing like community service. They're doing public outreach. They're doing internet. They're doing multi-planet um, uh, relations. Like they're doing basically TSA for interplanetary travel. Like all the things that they're responsible for. It could go up into and beyond even the terrors that Vaughn International bring. It kind of is not what they're there for, but it could be. So the stories I think are going to be ample and range. Even possibly being spicier because the end of the world could be part of it. It's not. I think that when I think spiciest tea, I'm thinking of it in the context of the way it's used in social media and the memification of the phrase and the idea that it's the tea you want the most. It's what you want to hear. And I think I'm with Matt in that regard, that my vote would get Men in Black. My vote would go to Men in Black. Men in Black would get my vote.
No, your vote gets Men in Black.
It does.
They get Men in Black.
I think I want to hear their stories the most. And I think that I wouldn't be quite as traumatized by them as frequently.
Valid. So that gets us to the end of our spiciest HRT bracket.
I'm not going to lie. That is not who I thought would win this one.
I honestly wasn't sure going into it. I mean, but it does make sense. And I actually think our finale makes a ton of sense in terms of just
where we wound up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Good job,
Right.
us. Good job,
Yeah.
us.
High
Pat
five.
ourselves on the back. There we go. Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right.
touch tips.
Yeah. There. All right. We did that.
We're going to do it again.
As always, we want to thank you for putting up with us for another week, despite the intervention your family held to try and talk you out of it. We also want to thank Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music on YouTube for the track here at the beginning and end of every episode. We really should reach out to him one time and be like, "Hey, by the way, thanks. Yeah, we've thanked you so many times. I don't know. And then, as always, interact with us on the social medias. We're on the Facebook and the TikTok and the Instagram, and those are really the main ones. We're on YouTube. We have a Discord. The link is in our bios as well. You can jump in and join the conversation. What are we planning? What's on the horizon?
We got unbracketed.
Unbracketed. You guys just want me to do the whole closing?
Yeah, so coming up, we're gonna take a
asking.
little hiatus from the bracket format. We're gonna try a couple of episodes called Unbracketed, where we are a little bit more freeform, a little bit more free roam, and yeah, we're gonna be talking about a little bit more free balling. So come join us if you want to see what amateur hour looks like without any guardrails.
No net.
Yeah.
We're going.
Come check us out.
No net. We also are only a few weeks away from episode number 100. I feel like we're going to make something special out of it. We just don't know exactly what that's going to be yet. But follow-up question. If you all have, specifically for the social medias, and I'll post this too, if you have favorite moments from past bracketologies, conversations that you enjoyed hearing us have, debates that we had that you really enjoyed where they got heated, at times I've insulted Dan and talked about his mom, anything like that stands out in your memory, let us know what your favorite moments from bracketology are, so we can we're going to try and make a little promo video. We want your feedback, so share those with us. I think that's an episode. We done?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, the difference between you and me, I've made this look good. Scott.
I still have not remembered my intro. Matt.
And I am Dinosaur Default.
Now you add your last name in.
Fuck it up again.
I did. Well, look.
One more time.
Amateur hour.
One more time.
Nope.
Touch tips. Touch tips, guys. Come
Dan
on,
doesn't
touch
get
tips.
to touch tips. He messed up his outro.
Oh,
Yep.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.